Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic Book Theater. Jay here with another Q&J. This is the 35th one, I think it is. So yeah, just hit me up with your questions in the chat, and I'll highlight them on here and answer them and discuss some stuff. We got this week Disney Plus launch on Tuesday. Apple TV Plus launched in the beginning of the month, so 2 weeks ago that launched. We can talk about that some because that was after the new after the last Q&J. We have the set photos from Crisis on Infinite Earths. We have the Lightning Collection toy line. We have oh wow, so much stuff that came out. Let's see what else happened this week. DC solicitations came out today. We have oh wow, I know there's a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, the Toys That Made Us came on today. We got a trailer for the Harley Quinn show, which I watched, and I will have a review for that next Friday. Hey Tevia, hello, welcome to the show, Tevia. Tevia's here. He says hello. So yeah, I'll have a review next Friday, a spoiler review for the entire season of Harley Quinn season 1. That would be next Friday, a week before it comes out. It will be an advanced review, and then I'm going to be doing weekly episodic reviews. Okay, so let's see. Tevye says, any opinion on John Kent Superboy appearing in Crisis on Infinite Earths? Because I'm so happy. Yeah, that was just released in those pros that came out today. So it's what I thought it was. It's a baby. So in a lot of ways, this new Superman show that's coming out from the CW that's in talks of being put out, because it hasn't been hit for a season or anything like that. It's just been they're in talks about doing it. So they haven't actually made it yet, so it may not even air, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be kind of funny, because it sounds like a lot of it's going to be like a continuation of Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman. Because if you remember that show, it ended, season 4 ended where Lois and Clark got a baby, and this is in a lot of ways is them raising the baby. So it's almost like the spiritual successor of that show, but it's not. It's not a spin-off or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, in it's just funny that one of their shows ended with that, and now the next Superman show, because Smallville was always about Clark, not Superman. So the last Superman show was Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, and then this one, it's like kind of continuing where that it's like kind of passing the baton. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, those photos, those set photos look really cool. We got a set photo of like a lot of the cast, and it's cool that Superman is actually in that cast. Because normally they'll put like only the people with shows have are in there, but this time they actually have Superman there. So that's pretty cool in the cast photo. Let's see. Let's see. Tevye says, yup, which I'm so happy to see my boy John Kent, Superboy. I know you are, Tevye. I know you were squealing for that. He says he may be a baby, but damn, he looks so cute. He does. Babies are cute. Well, I should say most babies. But yeah, babies are cute. So, who knows? Like, they could take a role from the comic books and age him up 5 years or 10 years. Have him go through some kind of mystical portal and come out, and he's like, oh no, I'm 10 years older. Or even do a arrow thing, do a flash forward, and we can see him as Superboy in the flash forward. So we never know what's going to happen. It would be weird to see him in that role, because in that world, like, Star City's a horrible place to be in 20 years. So how is it with, like, there's no super people there? But again, that's in a different Earth. We're not sure if the Earths are going to merge in this or not. So we really don't know anything. And that if the Earths do merge, that could change the 2040 future as well. Tevye gets a little cool sunglasses. Look at it. Um, let's see. Terry says that would be really awesome to see him as his little 10-year-old self. Yeah. I think it might be actually easier, or like a 14-year-old or something like that, because it's always easier to work with an older kid than it is with a baby. Because a baby, you really can't work with them that much. You gotta have twins, so you gotta it's not just one baby, it's like two babies, or you gotta use the doll or something, you know, and you can't always get the reaction you want. But with a kid, you can get reactions. That's why like a lot of shows they age them up fast. Like I don't know if anybody watched Modern Family, but Lily started out as a little infant and then she quickly jumped up in age between seasons, and we got an older Lily because Lily, it's harder to act with a baby because they get fussy, they want to eat, they want to, that they had to get change or whatever. So rules are harder for babies, and it's just harder in general with babies. Um, Debbie, did you get Disney Plus, and have you watched anything? I know you're a fan of Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's on there, Disney Plus. They got a lot of the classic shows like that. I'm surprised no one was really hashtagging about Earth's Mightiest Heroes at all on Twitter. There wasn't like a trend with that. Terry says, "Well, Christ is on infinite Earths may merge all of the Earths into one Earth, so anything is possible." Yeah, it might, but I don't know if it does. Like we don't know. We can't say yes. These are all going to be on one Earth come January or February. After the final two parts in January, they're all going to be merged. We don't know that. We don't know what this universe is going to look like post crisis, and that's going to be a big thing that we're going to have to pay attention to. And he says, yes, I watched the Mandalorian. Yeah, I watched that. I did a review over that. So if anybody wants to go check that out, the Mandalorian review is posted on my channel. I'll be doing that episode 2 review, I think, tomorrow. So yeah, check those out. And I'm gonna keep doing those weekly. So those would be a week. That would be a weekly review that I'm going to be doing. Terry says also rewatching Wolverine and the X-Men. That's like honestly that's my least favorite X-Men series. My favorite is X-Men Evolution, then followed by the '90s X-Men, and then Wolverine and the X-Men. So out of the three, that's how I ranked them. X-Men Evolution, X-Men '90s, and then X-Men Wolverine and the X-Men. Um, Yeah, but I personally been watching the Disney afternoon stuff. So, Gummy Bears, bouncing here and there and everywhere. Um, the Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, of course. I even tweeted out, keep binging Gargoyles because people want that season 3, which some people would be considering season 4. Disney will probably consider season 4 because they did do the Goliath Chronicles, but no Gargoyles fan considers that canon at all. Let's see, I watched The Mighty Ducks, I watched DuckTales, I watched Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. So yeah, classic Disney afternoon for me. That's what I've been doing. It feels like I'm back in the late '80s, mid '80s to early '90s with the cartoons. That was great. As for Terry says, as for Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I've been rewatching that, but I know some of the episodes are out of order. They are out of order. They've done that with a lot of the shows. Actually, X-Men, the '90s series, they're all out of order too. There's a lot, and that's something that people are complaining about. Disney Plus started, and they had so many fails. The first day after like 9 o'clock Eastern time, it was horrible to get on there. Like people were getting knocked off. Luckily, I was already watching Gargoyles, so it was just keep going and going and going. That wasn't giving me any problems. But people who try to log on, I think after like 8 or 9 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday, they were just out of luck. They couldn't change their profile pictures. They couldn't watch a show. People were hashtagging Disney Plus fail, and all kinds of stuff. So note to HBO Max, note to NBC Peacock, you have your streaming services coming up in April and May next year. Pay attention to this. You're going to have that high demand too with your back catalogs and all that. So watch what you're doing, because you don't want to hashtag HBO fail or hashtag Peacock fail. Then Terry says specifically with introducing Iron Man, Ant-Man, and the Wasp. Yeah, um, that's just the way that they did it. They put things out of order. Maybe they did in production order, because sometimes production order and airing order are two different things. Because sometimes they'll shoot something, or film something, or make something out of sequence. They might do episode, and like the first episode they work on might be like episode 5, and then they'll go and they'll work on episode 2, and then they'll go episode 8. They'll do all these little episodes as they coming in, and then when you're filming it, then when they release it in the order that you're supposed to watch it in. But a lot of places when they redo this, they do air production numbers and not airing numbers. And you can also see that with Netflix. They do with Power Rangers. They do episodes 1 to 20 as the regular season, then they do 21 and 22 as the Halloween and the Christmas shows respectfully. And that's something that you don't get, because they normally, like, Halloween this year was episode 14, and then the Christmas will be episode 21. 22. So there's a difference in it. But yeah, they do that, and they screwed up the Simpsons. Simpsons was made for 20 years or 20 something years in 4.6, I think it is, or 4.3 ratio, and everything now is in 16:9. And what they did was they cut off the top of the Simpsons screen, the bottom of the Simpsons screen, and they made it into a widescreen picture. So now you're missing up here and down here of the Simpsons. Like, if this was it, they will cut off like this, so they can make it so they can make it a show. So let's see. It says Thor and Captain America. Yeah, the Star Wars were a mess. Alan, welcome, Alan. He says Disney Plus is a god. I like it. I've been liking it for the classic stuff. Like I said, I was watching the Disney afternoon all weekend so far. Well, all week. NBC, Terry says NBC Peacock is another streaming service I am going to skip. I'm not. They're bringing back Saved by the Bell, dude. I can't skip that. I cannot skip. Sorry. I cannot skip Saved by the Bell, the new Saved by the Bell. And plus, they got a lot of the back catalog. See, they got Universal movies, like all the stuff from Universal. They'll have that. Anything that NBC owns. NBC owns a lot of stuff. NBC, Universal. And if you have Comcast cable, you're getting NBC Peacock for free. And I think I think NBC Peacock is doing that old Hulu thing where you can get it for free with commercials, or you can get it, or if you want it commercial free, you got to pay for it. So I think that's what they're doing with it. Did they censor The Simpsons? I don't know. I didn't watch all of Simpsons. I just watched a little bit of episodes here and there to see what they did with the filming wise. Yeah, so they cut out the ratio. Again, it would be like this: the bottom part of the screen is cut out, the top part of the screen is cut out. So, like, if anything was happening on these two parts, The Simpsons, you don't get that anymore. And I know in the beginning of a lot of their older movies, like, they put in warnings that cultural culturally insensitive or stuff like that, like with the "we Simonese, if you please," that they, because a lot of it is offensive to people, especially now. When back then they were allowed to do it, now it's a little bit more politically correct environment that we're living in. They want to, let people know that don't get triggered by this stuff because they're old stuff. Um, let's see. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, the blocking out sucks, but especially with Simpsons, because a lot of it is visual humor. So like, when like say when Willie rips off his clothes and you see his abs, some of it you don't like. There's certain cuts in that frame where you won't see his abs. You'll just see his chest on up. So you don't get the joke that Willie is ripped. Like he's got all muscles underneath his clothes, and that's what you don't get to see. You don't get to see a six pack, so you miss that joke. Or especially like if the joke's Maggie and Maggie's on the floor, that part gets like cut out. So Alan says, watch the Escape to Witch Mountain and Return from Witch Mountain. I added those onto my watch list last night. I was going through it last night. I was adding like all kinds of different shows to my watch list. I was going through the movies, the shows, the animation. I wish they were better, like when you're searching for it, because like even if you go say search series, animation, search series, and then go A to Z, they're not actually in A to Z order, because X DuckTales and the new DuckTales were not side by side. There was DuckTales, the new ones up here, and then they had DuckTales, the old one, buried down near the middle of the list. So it wasn't in the same thing. Let's see. Terry said, I think Disney Plus is good, but it's missing new content. It has some content. I did watch The Mandalorian. I watched some of Jeff Goldblum's World According to Jeff Goldblum. I watched Encore. I watched High School Musical the series because like I did with Apple Plus, TV Plus, I want to get a little bit of feel of everything that they've done. So I watched at least one episode of everything that they had. And honestly, I think Disney Plus should have waited a little bit because they're relying a lot on their back catalog. Because the only thing that they have of interest, honestly, is The Mandalorian, and that was actually cut down from. I was expecting an hour-long show. It was only 35 minutes. So, Terry says, "Wow, that's messed up." Yeah, it is, but it is what it is. Alan Mullen says, "Such good classics." Yeah, they are. I love them. Like I said, Alan, you weren't here. My first thing I did was 6 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I was watching Gargoyles, and then when everybody was having that Disney Plus fail, because they couldn't log on after like 9. I think it was like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time. They couldn't log on. I was enjoying my my Gargoyles marathon. Let's see. Debbie says, I knew Disney would screw up with The Simpsons badly, so I'm guessing they would probably mess up the Family Guy too, at least the first 5 seasons. I don't know if they will have the Family Guy, honestly, because I don't know if the Family Guy is produced by Fox, like if they own it. I don't know if they own it. Tom McFarlane, I think, still owns. I mean, not Tom McFarlane. Seth MacFarlane, I think, owns the rights to them to hold it. So, like, they don't get everything that's on Fox. So they don't own the Fox network. The Fox TV network, they don't own. But Fox owned The Simpsons. They owned the rights to The Simpsons. So I think it's different with Family Guy. I think Seth MacFarlane owns the rights to them still. He didn't sell it to Fox, where Matt Groening sold the rights to Fox. So Fox owns the rights to The Simpsons outright. So that's why Disney could put that on there. And that's why you don't see other Fox shows on Disney Plus. Or mess up American Dad. Again, American Dad is same as that. I don't think they own it. Alan says technically kids use Disney Plus too. Yeah, they do. And I don't think they're editing it though, really. I just think they're It was just the screen ratio screwed up, and that's something that Fox actually did because they did it on FX. Like when they had the FX, they ran The Simpsons on there as a marathon, and they cut it. That's how it was originally cut for that, and they did the same thing with that. So you know what's funny? A lot of people loved. I mean, they hate that they did that Simpsons, but I remember. I think it was when Justice League season 2 came out. They redid Justice League season 1 in the 16:9 ratio, and they did the same exact thing. They just cut it. They cut out the top. They cut off the bottom, and everybody was loving that it was in widescreen now. And I'm thinking, don't you know that they just cut it because it's animation? You can't go to the master film with animation. It's whatever you record it as is as it is. So all they did was just cut it so it looked longer, but it wasn't. But people love that. They don't like this. So that's funny. Terry says Alan, Disney bought Fox, which had Family Guy and American Dad. They don't. Again, I don't know if. And Alan says yes, I know, Terry. I don't know if they actually own American Dad and Family Guy. Because see, there's a difference. Fox, as a company, owned the rights to The Simpsons. Sometimes a show only airs a show; they don't own the rights to it. Okay, and then there's times where the network actually owns that show. Like, let's take for instance, let me see, what can I? Oh, all right, 90210, made by CBS, okay, but it aired on Fox, so it wasn't a Fox program. It was owned. It was produced by CBS Broadcasting, and it was aired on Fox TV. So if you go to CBS All Access, they have 90210 on their thing because it's a CBS production, but it aired on Fox Network. So you see what I'm saying? Sometimes a company can own it. And the same thing, now you have a lot more where the companies make their own shows. Like, a lot of the WB shows are Warner Brothers shows are on CW because they own half of that company. And CBS usually produces all their own shows. But sometimes a network does not own a series. They only air that series. Like Nickelodeon, okay? Nickelodeon owns Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay? Nickelodeon owns them out because Nickelodeon is owned by CBS Viacom. And so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are owned, are therefore owned by Nickelodeon. So they're airing that show. But Hasbro owns Power Rangers and it airs on Nickelodeon. You understand what I'm saying, Tevye? So I don't think that they actually own American Dad or Family Guy. And I'm not sure if they'll be able to air because I don't know the ratings for them. If American Dad and Family Guy are above PG-13, it will not air on Disney Plus. So I would have to check to see what the rating for American Dad and Family Guy is. I think it's MT Mature or PGM or PG-17. I'm not sure if it's PG-13 or below because it has to be PG-13 or below to air on Disney Plus. Anything beyond that will go to Hulu. So if they do own American Dad and Family Guy, and they're mature or 17 or whatever, they will probably go over to Hulu because Hulu is where they're going to have all their more higher rated shows. Let me see. Terry says at least FX The Simpsons still was funny to watch. Again, Terry, I don't think they edited out The Simpsons. I don't think they edited it. They just put warnings in front of it because The Simpsons are under their PG-13, I think, or they're PG-7 or something. I think they're PG-13 Simpsons. Let me see. Let me see what the Simpsons rating is. Okay, what is the rating for The Simpsons. Um, I don't know. It doesn't say. Trying to see it. I don't see what they say it is. Let me see. What is see? Episodes rated TV 14. So yeah, that's like PG-13. So Simpsons gets a TV PG rating, which may or may not include suggested dialogue. Okay, so it's PG, so anybody can watch it. So that it will be on. That's why it's on that. Let me see what the Family Guy is. Family Guy, I think, has to be higher because they do a little bit more raunchy comedy. So um, let me see. I don't see a rating for Family Guy now. Yeah, I think Family Guy is a little bit older. Honestly, I think Family Guy is a little bit older, so you probably won't ever see them on. Even if Disney owns it because of the Fox deal, I think you'll probably see that on Hulu and not there, which I think is on Hulu anyway. So kind of like Futurama. I think Futurama. I don't know Futurama. I don't know who owns that. I think maybe Fox does own that. I don't know. Mike Manhattan comes and says, "Hey, what's up, Mike Manhattan? How you doing? Um, have you seen The Mandalorian?" Yes, I've seen and reviewed episode 1 right here, and I'll be reviewing episode 2 tomorrow night, I think. Let me see. Is episode 2 up now? Because I didn't watch it. I was watching some classic Disney afternoon stuff again. So that's why I was watching all day. While I was working, I was doing that. And then I watched The Toys That Made Us season 3 because I loved. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this year. They did that. They did Power Rangers. They did My Little Pony, and they did wrestling figures. So all the wrestling figures. That's what they did. And yeah, I'll be reviewing episode 2 tomorrow night. Okay, so you come back here tomorrow night around 10 o'clock. That's what I'm going to be talking about episode 2 of The Mandalorian. You guys want to come and chat about that? I'll put the link in the Discord. Mike Manhattan, if you're not on my Discord, check out the link. It's up on my YouTube banner right there. Oh, wait, where would it be? No, it'll be this way. Okay, here. It'll be up on my YouTube banner, like over there a little bit. So it'll say Discord. Go check that out. Join the Discord. It's fun over there. We have a good time over there. Yup, it's actually out. Yeah, I just checked it. I just went on my Disney Plus and checked it. So I will be reviewing that tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, Mandalorian episode 2. That's what I'll be checking out. I'll be reviewing that. Have you watched Star Wars: The Clone Wars? Yeah, I watched that when it came out on TV. So I have not watched any. They haven't made the new episodes yet, so I haven't watched any of the new ones because they're not out yet. But I will be watching that when they return it. But yeah, I watched the Clone Wars. I liked it. Debbie says, any opinion on Star Wars: The Clone Wars? I liked them. I liked the Clone Wars. I thought it was a good cartoon series. I also liked Rebels, so I like both. I like that Rebels and that connected to each other. Where's gonna go? That's gonna be tomorrow sometime. Tomorrow, I've been busy with work and sorry, I've been watching Disney afternoon, so I will be reviewing it tomorrow. I'll actually review it tonight. Post this, I'll record it and then I'll load it up tomorrow. So that's when it'll be up. It'll be up sometime tomorrow during the day. But yeah, I have not forgot about it. I am going to do that. I love that issue. It was a good issue. I will tell you that. Spoilers, it was good. But yeah, and welcome, RGD. If you want, check out the Discord also. It's a nice community over there. You can talk about Power Rangers. There's a Toku Theater. You can talk about Power Rangers Sentai, Kamen Rider, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to join the Discord, please do that. Jump says I enjoyed The Mandalorian. So did I. I loved episode 1. I thought it was a really good, solid show. What I thought, the only thing about episode 1 that I think surprised me a little bit was that it's only 35 minutes. That I was shocked that Disney didn't do like a 45-minute or at least a 40, a little bit longer than that. I thought it was going to be like 45 minutes to an hour. That's what I was going for, and it was like 35 minutes. And I just felt like they could have done a longer episode, make it more than what it is. But I guess with the price that they're doing for each episode, they cut it down to save money. And welcome Junk 3PO. Also, check out the Discord right up there. Tevia says, any opinion on event Leviathan? Because, dear God, this event was a train wreck. Tevia, we'll be talking about that on Monday night with Comic Phanatic Live. So Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Tevia will be joining me for that episode. Come and join us. We'll talk about all the comics of the week, and that's what we're going to be talking about that. I don't want to do spoilers about that, Tevia, because we are going to be talking about that in length on Monday, I'm sure. Mike Manhattan says, been reading Peter Davis' run of The Hawk. It's crazy that he wrote the book for 12 years. I know. It was a friggin' great run, too. It was a great run. I love that run. Do you know Jon Favreau played the Mandalorian antagonist, Pre Vizsla in Clone Wars? No, I you know what? I don't know if I did know that or not. Because again, I haven't watched Clone Wars since it stopped airing. It's not one of those series I went back and watched. I put it on my watch list on Disney Plus, but I have not watched another episode yet. I'm gonna watch it when they come out the new series, so this way I can catch up on it and be fresh in my head because I haven't watched it in a couple of years. But yeah, The Mandalorian was great. I thought it was a great episode. I thought I can't wait to watch episode 2 tonight. So after I record my Go-Go Power Rangers number 25 review, I'll be doing that tonight. And then I'll record that, and then I'm gonna watch The Mandalorian episode 2, and I'll do a live show tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern time for that. So join me for tomorrow night for that, and check out hit the notification bell so you'll know when I go live, and you'll know when that episode issue number 25 of Go-Go Power Rangers review goes up. Sorry, just got an update on the game I wasn't paying attention to. Sorry. Let's see. Any opinion on DC Comics solicitations? Because for me personally, in my opinion, I find the solicitations to be mediocre. Actually, I enjoy the solicitations, but again, Kevin, you wanted to talk about this on the show on Monday, so I would like to say that for Monday because that's something that you put in the hot topics. And again, if you're in the Discord, you can tell me what news you want us to talk about on the show. Anything that you put in the hot topics, I talk about them because I don't want my show to be just me picking everything. Like it's not just all about me. My show is very interactive on Monday nights. Comic Phanatic is very interactive. You guys have a big say so. The fandom is what builds up any community, and that's what this is. It's all about community. So I want you guys to recommend what news we talk about. Okay, so again, the Discord is where you go to do that. The link is in my banner up there, and it's on the Comic Phanatic site too. Terry says, I personally think The Mandalorian is actually better than the sequel trilogy. I don't know, Terry, if I would say that because it's only one episode, honestly, and we only got a very small part of his story. So I gotta wait to see what the rest of the story is gonna be because I don't know. What did you think about the 2003 Hulk film? I'm in the minority there. I don't think it was as bad as people say it was. I think the framing of it with the comic book was inventive. I like that. I like the choice that he made with it, but I think it got people a little bit irritated with that. When he did the panel shots, I like that. I thought it was unique. And I don't mind. I didn't mind the film that much. I'm not one of those people who were like, oh, the Hulk was the worst movie ever made. They blah 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 blah. They should have never let him do it. Blah 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 blah. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't Catwoman. Catwoman was horrible and unwatchable. Have you seen Doctor Sleep? No, I have not yet. I saw the trailer. Well, not a trailer. I'm sorry, a commercial advertisement for it last night. Um, and I was like, I want to see that, but it's something I can't see at night because my girlfriend doesn't like those movies. She doesn't like horror movies, so can't watch them with. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna watch it, but I'm going to go to the movie theaters to watch it because that's a movie I want to see in the theaters. Have you seen it, Mike? Man, have you seen Doctor Sleep? Sorry. Um, been a long week, people. And again, I'm going to have Go Go Power Rangers up tomorrow. I'm going to have the Mandalorian live show tomorrow night. So check both of those out. This week has been really busy with me for a lot of things. I did Comic Phanatic Live on Monday. Let's see. Tuesday, I forget what I did Tuesday. I did something on Tuesday. Let's see. I'm trying to remember everything I've done because I know I did something on Tuesday night or Wednesday night. Was it? I know I did Star Trek, the short trek a review last night. I did the Mandalorian. Oh, the Mandalorian review I did Tuesday night. Tonight I'm doing this. Tomorrow I'm doing the Mandalorian episode 2 review. So it's been a lot going on, but I like that because I like this actually because I like putting more content up on my channel. And let me know in the Discord. There's suggestions and stuff like that. Go let me know what you guys want to see on this channel. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? What kind of stuff you want me to review? Do you want to do information videos? Do you want review videos? Like, let me know live shows or just regular videos. What do you guys want me to do more of or less of? I want to know that over on the Discord also. Mike Manhattan, since I haven't seen it yet. All right. Oh, I haven't either. I heard good things about it from the critics and all, but again, I don't go by critics because critics are biased and they could be also doing it just for their own career. So I like to go by my own opinion on it, or someone who I trust. Like if someone I know, I would be like, hey, how was this movie? And they would know like my taste and be like, I don't think you need to watch it. You can wait for it. Let's see. Tevye says, I still need to see that movie. Yeah, it looks really good. Mike Man says, think we'll ever get an Incredible Hulk feature and perfect film? Probably not, because Hulk is still owned. The rights for Incredible Hulk is still with Universal. Universal has a deal that is a lot like the Sony deal, and the Universal deal came before it. So actually, the Sony deal is like the Universal deal, but Universal is letting Marvel use the Hulk in teen movies. And if Marvel wants to make a Hulk in the solo movie, it's going to Universal will put up the money and they'll get the benefits from it. So though Marvel will do the work, Universal will pay for it, and they'll get the money. And Marvel will get very little bit of money back from that. Also, the Hulk movies don't really sell that well. Hulk 2003 didn't do well. Incredible Hulk didn't do very well. And Incredible Hulk is part of the MCU, so I think that came out at the bad time though. Also, that came out in right after Iron Man and all that. So it came out when the MCU was young. I think if it came out today, it will probably do a lot better in box office because Marvel movies, you just slap Marvel on it and people go watch it. They don't even pay attention to what the movie is. Like they just like, oh, Marvel movie, I'm going because that's building up to something. just like when they go to the theater, they're like, "Oh, I'm staying until that last credit rolls. I'm staying in that theater." You know. Let's see. Mike Manana says, "Think we'll ever?" Oh, I already read that one. Sorry. Terry says, "Well, new question. I'm just wondering, how do you find Crisis on Infinite Earth is going to go down? How do I think Crisis on Infinite Earth is going to go down?" Um, Honestly, I'm not thinking about it, Tevia. I know that's a shock to a lot of people because I'm the theorist. You know, I like to have theories and see what's going on, but I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying to see how it shapes up by itself because I don't want any preconceptions going into it, and maybe um making me biased about it. But I do want to talk about that first 3 episodes when they air. So I'm going to be doing a little screen, big screen episode talking about those first 3 episodes when they air in December, and then I'm going to do another one when the final 2 air in January. So I will be doing that. But I guess I will say right now I think it's going to be big. That's what I think it's going to be. I hope there's more cameos, like the producers and all are saying that there's going to be. I hope there's more people coming on because I want to see everybody. Um, and I guess the one thing I'm looking forward to is if they actually merge the Earths together or not. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Terry says, um, not to mention Edward Norton was kind of difficult to work with, but that had nothing to do with like making more movies. Edward Norton's demands, for approving the script and all that. That has nothing to do with them making a movie with the right now because they don't have Edward Norton. He's not Hawk anymore, so he's not an excuse. The only problems that they're having is Universal owns the rights to it still, and um, Marvel, doesn't get that much profit. Nobody really made that much money off of Incredible Hulk, even though it's an MCU movie. So why make a movie that's not going to be that much that profitable? Mike Mann says, I thought of a way they could get around that. Send Hulk to the future, have Hulk put together a team of Avengers to battle the Maestro, and call it Avengers Future Imperfect. That's what they will probably do. If they do anything like that, it will probably be an Avengers movie, or a Thor movie because Hawk was good in Thor. So it could be any other Marvel, like an Iron Man, movie or something like that. It could be any character as long as it's not not a Hawk centric movie. And he can't. I don't know if he could be the main character in the movie either, because those are very fine lines. So Terry says, well, no one saw Dark Phoenix. And that's why they're going to take their time and do X-Men, right? But also, that's Fox. This is Marvel. Universal made Hulk. Marvel made Incredible Hulk, even though Universal paid for it and all that stuff, was a Universal deal. Marvel made that movie, and it did not perform well. It just didn't. Incredible Hulk did not perform well. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it didn't perform well, especially when it stacks up to other movies like Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and Thor and Captain America. All those movies did better than Incredible Hulk. Yeah, that's true. Universal is a pain to work with. Well, not really. I mean, that's the deal that they wanted to get the Hulk in their universe. They had to go with that deal. And again, it's the same kind of deal that they made with Sony. They did that deal again with Sony to get Spider-Man. Let's see. Mike says, why does Universal even still care? They make more money on Fast and Furious than they did the Hulk. Because they still get money for nothing. They get money. Marvel is paying them to use their character, dude. That's money for nothing, where are you going to get a deal where you get paid to use the character that the other people own? You know, that's like me charging DC Comics to produce to write a comic book on Superman, you know? Like they would have to pay me. I don't own it. I have nothing to do with Superman. I didn't create Superman or anything, but they would have to pay me to make a Superman movie, you know? How 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 weird would that be, you know? And that's what essentially Universal's doing to Marvel. They're like, okay, you own the Hulk, but we own the rights to the film. So you can pay us the money and you can use them in your movies. And that's what they're doing. So why wouldn't they? They don't have to put out any of the money. They get money from the box office and everything like that. So why not? I mean, Marvel's actually paying them to use a character that they didn't have anything to do with. And plus it helps their theme parks because they get the Hulk rides in the Universal Studios. Um, Terry says I personally would love a Laura aka X-23 movie because I love Laura. She was really awesome and badass. But Terry, they're not going to start with that. They're going to work their way up to that. They're going to start off with the X-Men. You'll probably get Jean. You'll probably get Scott. You'll probably get Storm. You'll probably get Wolverine. Probably Rogue, because those are like the. Basically, you're going to get like the X-Men Evolution cast, because that was like the popular X-Men. You know, you get those. You get those X-Men. You're getting the popular cast. Honestly, I would rather have the original 5 X-Men start up, you know, Cyclops, Beast, Jean, Angel, and Iceman, and then you know, work the other X-Men into it. But they're going to put Wolverine in it. Wolverine's a cash cow for them, so they're going to use Wolverine. Terry says, I still maintain the deal with Universal seems weird off because the Hulk should be Marvel, but not the other way around. However, I do agree the deal with Universal is pretty smart business wise from Universal side. Well, here's what happened, Terry. Marvel was hemorrhaging money. They were losing money. They were about to go bankrupt. So they thought that the future of their company, the future of their characters, depended on movies. You know, because movies make money, and they thought they would sell the rights to some of their characters. So they sold the rights to Spider-Man to Sony. They sold the rights to of like X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Blade and Daredevil all to Fox. They sold Hulk and Namor and some other characters to Universal. And the deals were they had so many years to make a movie or they would lose the rights. So, and I think each one was different, like 7 years for this one or 5 years for that one. And if they don't go into production, they lose the rights to it. Well, Universal was smart. They were like, "Hey, look, you got your own little movies that you're making. Let's do a deal. You keep them. He can go in your movies, but we'll keep the rights to him because you're using him. And if you want to make a movie, we'll flip the bill and we get the lion's share of it." So I mean, that's just what Marvel went to them. Like they were selling their characters. They didn't go and like steal Marvel's characters or or blackmail them or anything. They bought the rights to the characters that Marvel themselves were selling. Marvel decided to sell their rights to their characters. That's why I don't blame Sony. They're not giving up Spider-Man. Why should they? Why should Sony give up Spider-Man? Because fans want it? No. Dude, it's a business. Marvel sold the rights. They shouldn't have sold the rights. Just like I said Monday, you can't fault people for making business contracts. If you didn't like the contract, you shouldn't have signed it. Let's see. Terry says that's true. Marvel was in bankruptcy and that's why we had the awful Daredevil movie from 2003. Some people like it. I had no problem with Daredevil, honestly, and the director's cut was better. Yup, Daredevil was with Fox, yeah. And they didn't make another movie, so they lost the rights to it. They didn't make another Blade movie. They lost the rights to that. Ghost Rider, they didn't make another one, so it went to them. So that's how they went. They did that. And that's just the way it went. That's the way the cookie crumbled for them. However, I think Fantastic Four got screwed over the most. That's why we had it the most badly, and that's why we had the Inhumans shoved down our throats to replace the X-Men, which didn't work. Yeah, they kind of were like, we can't use mutants. We can't say the word mutant in our universe. So how can we explain? How can we use these type of characters and get that type of a story? That whole analogy for civil rights and stuff like that, but not use X-Men or not use mutants. And they were like, we got the Inhumans. They're just like the mutants, So that's why they did it. Mike Manhattan says, have you seen the Spider-Man Unlimited show from the late 90s? It looks like it should be a Spider-Man 2099, but got changed at the last minute. Yeah, I did. Actually, I watched it when it first came out on Fox Kids. It's the unofficial sequel to Spider-Man in the 90s. They couldn't say it was the sequel to it, but it was. Like everyone says, everyone involved in the show, everyone involved in everything about that show says Spider-Man Unlimited is the Spider-Man 90s TV show's continuation. I think it was Dan Slott when he did the original Spider-Verse. He killed the character in that. I think he killed Spider-Man Unlimited in that, and he said, because they were like, why didn't you put the 90s Spider-Man? They couldn't use the 90s Spider-Man in the comic book. They couldn't use it because Marvel didn't have the rights to it because Fox owned it. And they said, we couldn't do it, but we do have Spider-Man Unlimited, and he's dead. Spider-Man Unlimited is a continuation of the 90s show, so that's what you get. So yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited, unofficial, unofficial continuation of 90s Spider-Man. Mike says, even Peter in that show looks more like Miguel with the hair. I think it was the style. It's just the art style. Because you notice the last episodes of X-Men, they went with that different art style too. Terry said, it's still the same, drives me insane. We lost Spectacular Spider-Man for BS. Well, again, Spectacular Spider-Man was owned by Sony. So when Sony no longer had the animation rights, they couldn't make it anymore. Sony lost the animation rights to Spider-Man, and they gave it back to Disney. Marvel, Disney. And so they had to cancel Spectacular Spider-Man. It had nothing to do with the ratings, had nothing to do with anything, and they can never go back to it because they don't own that. Sony owns the rights. Well, I think Sony gave the rights back to Disney now, but I don't think they'll ever go back to it. Again, they want what they want with their animation, Tevye. Yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited was supposed to be $20.99. No, it was never supposed to be $20.99, Tevye. And Mike Manhattan wasn't saying it was. He said it looks like it should have been $20.99. It was never supposed to be $20.99. It was supposed to be a continuation of Spider-Man the anime series. That's all it was supposed to be. Also, the costume and music felt very 2099-ish. I think they were going for a competition with Batman Beyond, honestly. I think that's what they were going for, a competition with Batman Beyond. Except that doesn't make any sense because Spider-Man Unlimited doesn't add up with the 90s cartoon. It does, in a way. They had the symbiotes came from outer space. They went back up in outer space on the rocket. Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Unlimited started off with Peter trying to, stop them from going up on the rocket and leaving his hometown, leaving his family, leaving everything behind on Earth, to go there. and he was stuck on another planet. So it does add up. It's very loosely adds up, but it does. Look it up. Spider-Man Unlimited was a sequel to Spider-Man 90s, the 90s Spider-Man. Mike Mann says also Spider-Man and Batman Beyond both have girlfriends named Dana and have Irish last surnames. Yes. But I think that's why it was. I think let me see what year they came out. Okay, let me see. Spider-Man 2099. I want to see what year that came out because I think they came out around the same time. Oh, I'm sorry. I put Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man Unlimited. I saw Miguel O'Hara. I'm like, why is Miguel O'Hara there? But let's see. Um, Spider-Man came out. Spider-Man Unlimited came out 1999 to 2001. So let me see. Batman Beyond. I think Batman Beyond came out a couple years before that. So, but I think they were going for a Batman Beyond feel with that. So you notice that it is a little bit Batman Beyondish. You know, oh, it came out 1999. So yeah, that came out January 1999. That came out, and Spider-Man Unlimited came out in October 1999. So yeah, it was the answer to that. I remembered it being the answer, but I wanted to make sure I checked that. Let's see. Terry says not with the cliffhanger ending in the 90s Spider-Man, which had Peter trying to rescue Mary Jane from another dimension. And in the beginning of Spider-Man Unlimited, MJ is all okay. So all they said what happened was something happened in between them. We all got that story, but here's where we left off. Here's where we are now. That's all. You don't have to have closure. Like that happened off screen. That's what they're saying. All that stuff happened off screen. He went on that adventure. He found her. He brought her back. Let's see. Which we never got resolution to, like, at all. That was that show's fault. Again, that was the production of that show. That show had a different production team and everything like that. Unfortunately, Spider-Man Unlimited never got an ending. Neither did Spider-Man the Anime Series. You just said that Spider-Man Anime Series really never got an ending either. Do you think Bruce Timm and Paul Dini were inspired by the Spider-Man 2099 comic book when they made Batman Beyond? They probably got inspired a little bit by it, honestly. I think they probably did. Let me see when issue number 1 came out. Spider-Man 2099. Because that came out in January 1991. So 1999. So they would have to have had that in production for a while. Because animation takes a while to make. So they would have had to make that a while. Let me see. I'm trying to find when the production actually, when Spider-Man 2099 number 1 came out. So let me look this up. Okay, September 1992. Okay, yeah. So yeah, definitely. I was thinking it was later than that for some reason. Spider-Man 2099, yeah. It was probably a little bit. I wouldn't say because that was like 7 years later, and it was canceled by the time Batman Beyond came out. I would guess like probably in the back of their heads they probably did know about Spider-Man 2099. I don't think it was a major influence because again, the 2099 universe had ended by 1999. It came out in 1992. It ended by 1999. It was done. So I don't think they would be like, hey, we need to do something about a defunct comic book, you know. I need a closure for that story. A lot of fans did. You're never going to get it though, because it's been like 20 years. Tevye. Tevye says I love Batman Beyond, and I would have loved Spider-Man 2099 teaming up with Batman Beyond in a crossover. Again, never will happen. Two companies, they don't cross over. Let me see. Mike says, how do you think they are going to do Moon Knight show? I hope they don't play too much into the psychology of it. I mean, I hope that does factor into it because that's what makes Moon Knight different than every other comic book character. You know, he has the DID. He has dissociative identity disorder. So he has a mental illness. I hope they do play that, but I hope that doesn't become all it's about. Like if you read the recent issue on the recent series of Moon Knight in the comics, it seems like all they cared about was his DID. They didn't care about him being a hero. I want him to be a hero with DID, not someone who has DID who wears a mask. You know, I want him to be a hero. I want to see him actually fighting crime while having the DID problems and going through those issues. So that's why I'm hoping for it, but I'm not sure what we're going to get. All right, guys, get your last questions in. I'm going to be wrapping this up very soon, so get those last questions in. We'll be wrapping this up. And again, tomorrow I'm going to have a review of Go-Go Power Rangers number 25. I'm going to have my review of the Mandalorian live show. So you want to come and watch that? That will be tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern time, right here. I'll be reviewing episode 2 of the Mandalorian. Terry says, how do you think they're going to do the She-Hulk show? I hope they do She-Hulk in it. You know, I hope it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, it's Jennifer you know, all day long, and then it's like, oh, now at the last episode we got She-Hulk. You know, I don't want that. I don't want you know, a Jen show. I don't want that. I don't want a Jennifer Walter show. I want an actual She-Hulk show. So I want to see She-Hulk in the show. And if you don't show me She-Hulk, I'm going to be pissed at that. You know, I want to see her in episode 2 at least. You know, episode 1 I can see, you know, building up what's happening and doing it. She better be in it by episode 2. She better be. So kind of like Legion. What was that for? Kind of like the Legion show. I don't know. I'm not sure what that was a reference to. Tell you, Hulk also has Hulk has DID too. He has dissociative identity disorder, but that was later on that they discovered that. His is more recent, you know, and it's not as prevalent. Now it's more prevalent, and in the new Hulk, it's more prevalent. Oh, that's what you're talking about, Terry Legion. Okay, yeah. But Moon Knight was like the first one to actually tackle that. He has like several different personalities that come out and play and all that. He was unique to that. Hulk is someone who had it differently, and I still maintain that Batman has DID too, because I wrote a paper on it in school that Batman has DID. He has 3 distinct personalities. Okay, he has one, Bruce Wayne, and that personality died when his parents died. Okay, that personality became repressed. It didn't die; it became repressed. Okay, the second personality is Batman. That personality was born on the same night that Bruce became repressed. Okay, and then his third personality is Bruce Wayne, the one that everybody thinks he is now. That's the Bruce Wayne he thinks everybody would have thought that he would have been. So I think Bruce Wayne has dissociative identity disorder, which a lot of people call multi-personality disorder, but it's not. It's called dissociative identity disorder or DID. Let's see. Mike says, which Hawk personality would be your favorite? Professor. I love the Smart Hawk. I love the Smart Hawk. Like right around the you know, the white tank top Hawk. That's what I like. I like that. I have an action figure from somewhere. Well, not me. My nephews took it from me when they were little, so I had the action figure of Smart Hawk. Then my nephews took it from me, but I think it's still in my house in one of their toy boxes. I got like they have like 6 toy boxes here, so still. But I never threw them in. I never went through them. But I guarantee you, like it's still there. It's still in there. Think She-Hulk will break the fourth wall in the show. That would be fun if she did. That would be unique. I think that would make it stand out. But I don't know because they want to put her in the movies too. They want to use these to go with the movies. And I don't think they'll do that with the movies. So if she does, it'll be something she only does on the show and not in the movies. So kind of like Daredevil, but with She-Hulk. I hope not, Terry. I really hope that they do something like Daredevil with it, where you see Daredevil early on in the show. And I hope they show you She-Hulk early on in the show. Question: do you think She-Hulk has the ID? No, she does not. And I hate that they implied that in the last episode, the last issue of Immortal Hulk. They said that she does now. She does because she got it from because apparently now this pissed me off so much about Invincible in Immortal Hulk this week. Last week I should say. They said that anybody who gets anything that came from any Hulk transformation that came from Bruce, like Doc Samson, She-Hulk, their Amadeus Cho, their Hulk transformations came from Bruce. His gamma radiation, which was infected with his dissociative identity disorder, is now they had it too, which is bullcrap. It is not a communicable disease. You cannot catch DID. You cannot catch it. It's not something you can, oh, you got DID now. No, you're not going to get a blood transfusion and get somebody's DID. That's not how it works. It's a brain thing. It's a mental illness, not a chemical imbalance. No, it's not a blood disorder or something like that. It's not a virus that you pass on to someone. So I hated that they came out and said that. I was like, oh my god, that is such a weak storytelling. I was so furious about that because it just makes Bruce less unique. And again, that's what I hate about Immortal Hulk is they're in Marvel right now. They're reinventing characters to write them because they can't write these characters. They can't have writers that come in and write the characters. They gotta reinvent them to make them likable to people today. Screw you. You can't like a character the way it should be written, then you shouldn't read the character. Have them create a new Hulk and have them be the Immortal Hulk and have Bruce still be Bruce Banner, the Incredible Hulk. Any opinion on Devil Hulk? Don't like him. Which Hulk do you think became the Maestro? The Maestro. He's a different Hulk personality. I don't think anyone came. I think that's a personality that evolved from Bruce into the Maestro. So I don't think it was like Joe. I don't think it's Joe Chill that. I mean, not Joe Chill. Joe Fix-It. I don't think it was Fix-It that Mr. Fix-It became that. I just think it was the Maestro. I know a lot of people think Mr. Fix-It became that. Wow, Immortal Hulk messed up She-Hulk, but that sucks. Dude, did you not see She-Hulk? She looks like a harpy. That's what her first form was when she first became a She-Hulk. She was like this harpy type creature. They went back to that because again, that was more interesting than cool She-Hulk. Well, they did that with Betty. I'm sorry, not She-Hulk. But yeah, it is to anybody who got their Hulk power from his gamma radiation. Is that and She-Hulk in the comic books is like a friggin' is the Savage Hulk now. She talks like Hulk. Hulk smash. She calls herself Hulk too. So does Betty Ross have that too? Apparently, yes, she should have it because anybody who gets their gamma radiation from Bruce should have DID. That's what they said in the last issue. You go back and you read it. Doc Samson was explaining that Amadeus Cho came up with the theory because that explains why his Hulk was all messed up. That sounds familiar when Bendis is dealing with Superman and the Legion and my boy John Kent. I don't think he's reinventing them though. I just think he's them differently. I don't think he's reinventing them. Like Superman is still Superman. He's not changed. New 52 reinvented Superman, not Bendis. He's not reinventing him. He's still using all the past history. In the 2000 comic, Marvel Boy had to fight a parasitic virus called Hexus. that takes over corporations. Do you think Grant Morrison predicted the Disney takeover? I don't think he predicted it. I just think everybody knew that it was eventually going to happen. Everybody knew Disney was going to be a thing. Wait, how can Amadeus Cho have DID? Because didn't he steal the gamma radiation? Yes, he did. That's what I just said. He says that he had. Remember when he did the Hulk in the trunk? You know, remember the monster in the trunk? That storyline. That was the Incredible Hulk's person. That was because Amadeus Cho had DID. That's why he became that Hulk. But that's it for the show, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow night. If you guys want to tune in, I'm going to be doing a review for The Mandalorian. You can talk to me about that show then. Tomorrow, during the day, Power Rangers, Go-Go Power Rangers number 25 review will be up. I also have a lot of other things to do. Monday night, Terry will be joining me for Comic Phanatic Live, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday night. And next Friday is our November comic book club, and that's Crisis on Infinite Earths trade paperback. So before this show comes on TV that everybody's going crazy for and wanting to watch, we're going to talk about that book on Friday night, and there's going to be a big announcement Friday night about that, and it's going to be connected to that. Okay, so tune in that Friday night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Legend Storm's going to be joining me for that. Maybe a couple other people. I don't know. We'll see. But Mike Manhattan says real fast. Remember when Grant Morrison claimed he was abducted by aliens? He said that a couple times, and yes, I do. Tevye says bye. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining me, and don't forget, check out the Discord. Check out me on Twitter and everything else. Bye, everybody.